Hello friends, today we are going to describe a program which is a very popular program and very important program and an interesting one as well, which is called the palindrome checking. That is checking where a string entered by the user is a palindrome. What is palindrome? Palindrome is something which appears same when printed from either way. So this can be a palindrome. See, M-A-D-A-M. So this is a palindrome. See, if it is printed from left to right, it prints madam, and if it is printed from right to left, again it prints madam. So this type of string is called a palindrome. So what is palindrome? Palindrome is something which prints the same way from either side. So madam can be a palindrome. It is an odd letter word. It can be an even letter word like this. Suppose I am writing this ABBA. So this is a palindrome because if you print this from this side, it prints ABBA from this side as well as it prints ABBA. So this is an even letter palindrome. This is an odd letter palindrome. Palindrome can compose of other alphanumeric characters as well. Like if I write this one @ exclamation ! So this is a palindrome. If we write something like this 1 2 2 1, this is a palindrome. 1 2 3 2 1. So this is a palindrome. So these can all be palindromes, but something which is not same from both the sides is not a palindrome. Like this, if you write hello, hello is not a palindrome because it prints HELLO from this side, from left side, and it prints OLLEH from the right side. So it is definitely not a palindrome. If you write 1 2 3 4, definitely not a palindrome because not same from either end. So there are so many cases to deal with to check whether a string entered by an user is a palindrome. So let us get started with writing the program, and let me explain it to you. Excuse me. So we are going to write a program in C to check whether a string or a group of characters, whether a string is a palindrome, Palindrome. So let us get started with the program. #include stdio.h, file inclusion directive, then comes int main, then comes the opening brace of the main section. Now what are the variables to be declared or taken from beforehand? So variables can be like this. Suppose number of elements, that is number of elements entered by the user, which will be the number of elements in the array. The array will be a character array because we can take a string containing numbers, containing alphanumeric characters, containing any letter of the English alphabet. So the string is a representative of every type of character. So a general program will be better if we take a string rather than an integer array or anything which is specific. So a generic program will take a string and it can contain any elements of any data type. So we are going to take a string. For that we have to take a character array. So one variable will be n, another variable is the for loop variable, that is the I loop variable, and another can be suppose an auxiliary variable. I will show you the use of the auxiliary variable, and let us just get started with writing the variables down first. int n I L, or suppose it can be like this, don't take L, take it like X, int n I x, x is the auxiliary variable, and then we have to take the help of a flag variable which is a control variable, and this control variable will take care of some situation for the palindrome checking part. So, we have to take a control variable as well. Let it be named as a flag, and which we initialize it to the value of 0. So, flag is initialized to the value 0, and now we are going to take a character array, say about char A20 containing 20 places. So, and now the user will give how many number of characters he or she wants to enter. We will write printf enter the length of the string, new line, scanf, %d, ampersand, n. For printf, enter the string, printf, enter the characters, or enter the characters, say suppose enter the characters, new line, for I is equal to 0, I less than n I plus plus, scanf %c, because we have taken a character array. So, %c is the format specifier, ampersand ai. That is quite an usual way of writing, of taking the input. So, now we are going to check whether the string entered by the user is a palindrome. So, let us get started with the logical section of the program, and let me write this. Can I just take your permission to just rub off a bit of the program from above so that I can cater for more space to write. So, I am just rubbing off a little bit of program, excuse me for that. So, we take the input up to this, and we are going to start from the next line from here. So, please take a note of this. Now, we are going to initialize the value of L naught. We have changed it to x later on. So, it will be x, the auxiliary variable, and it will be initialized to the value of n. Whatever is the value entered by the user, the n value entered by the user will be assigned to this x variable. X will become now n, and now we are going to write in this manner: I is equal to 0, I less than n by 2, I less than n by 2, I plus plus. Now, under this we have to check the characters one by one, starting from this left side and this rightmost side, leftmost side, rightmost side, then next to this leftmost side and next to this rightmost side, until we reach a point where we cross over. So, what to do? Now, we will compare like this: if ai is not equal to, if ai is not equal to a x minus 1, x means the value of n. Suppose n is equal to 3, then x will also be 3, and x minus 1 will be obviously 2. So, ai, that is a0, will be checked with a x minus 1, and then if this holds, if ai is not equal to x minus 1, that means this character and this character are not the same. So, these are not the same, so not equal to. So, that means there will be no possibility of the string to be a palindrome, and we will just put the flag value to 1 and just break away from the loop so that we need not check the other character pairs, because we need not check, because in order to save the time we will put a break statement so as to make us come out of the loop, so as to avoid the further iterative operations. So, we are going to take here, if ai not equal to ax minus 1, then the flag variable will be set to a value which is 1. It was 0 originally, and it will be changed to 1, and we will put a break over here, and we will put a break over here, so that we can come out after changing the value of the flag, we can come out of this for loop. So, this is the part of the if this condition holds, then this happens. If this condition doesn't hold, obviously the flag value remains unchanged, and in that matter we have to do one further calculation, that is one decrement calculation should be made, because I will go on increasing I plus plus, and for the next iteration we have to compare this I value when I becomes 1, I is equal to 1 for this position, it should be checked with the penultimate position, that is x will always be decremented from the right side. So, x will be this one. So, suppose x was before x was 2, that is 0, 1, 2, 3. Suppose this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then x would have x was 4 before, and now the x will become 3. So, this 1 should be compared to this a1 should be compared with this a3. So, for doing that operation, so now we are going to decrement this x value by unity. So, I have written x minus minus over here. So, x minus minus decrements the value of x by 1. So, in this way we are doing this iterative operation, and this for loop ends over here, and now we are going to check whether during this operation within any iteration, whether this condition has become whether this condition satisfied, that is not equal to ai not equal to ax minus 1 holds. If that would have held, so the flag variable would have become 1, and we would have come from this loop, and the flag variable should be checked outside the loop. If the flag variable is 1, then we are definitely not getting a palindrome. So, we will printf, printf not palindrome. And if this iteration goes on until the iteration to the last point, and then comes out of this iterative loop in the normal way, and this flag variable is not changed during the iteration process because of the condition given over here doesn't hold, then the flag value would have remained the same as the initialized value of flag, which was 0. So, in that case we will easily conclude, or we will easily infer, that the string is definitely a palindrome, because this not equal to condition has not been encountered. So, in that case we will print that the string is a palindrome. So, now we are going to write the code like this: if flag is equal to 1, printf not a palindrome, else printf a palindrome. So, if the flag remains 0, it will be definitely a palindrome, and if the flag becomes 1, it is not a palindrome. So, we write return 0 and come to the closing brace of the main section. So, let us show you an example, show you a dry run, so that you get to know what we have done in this program. So, let us take a small example of a string which can be a palindrome, which may not be a palindrome. Let me take a palindrome itself. Suppose I am taking this string A, B, C. So, the array contains 3 letters. Suppose the user has given the n value to be 3. We have taken the input. ABC has been, so not ABC, I am trying to get it as a palindrome. So it will be definitely A. So suppose the user has entered the string in this manner, A, B, A. So this is the 0th position, 1 position, 2 position. N value is 3, X value is definitely 3 because whatever is the value of N has been assigned to X. And then we come to this iteration part. For I is equal to 0, for I is equal to 0, I should be checked against N by 2. What is N by 2? N by 2 means 3 by 2. 3 by 2 means 1.5. 1.5 is a decimal value. So as the elements are all integers, then the value 1.5 and this 5.5 part will be truncated so that n by 2 value becomes 1. So that n by 2 becomes 1 and this 0 is less than 1, that is definitely correct, and we come to the inside part of this loop and then check this condition whether if ai is not equal to ax minus 1. What is ai? Ai is a0 not equal to ax minus 1. X minus 1 means 3 minus 1. 3 minus 1 means 2. If a0 is not equal to a2, let us see, a0 is a and a2 is also a. So this not equal to condition doesn't hold. So this flag will not be changed to the value of 1 and will not go to this break statement. The flag remains 0 as it was in the beginning. In the beginning the flag was 0. So the flag remains 0. Now we come to this line, decrement x, x becomes 2, and we come to this loop once again. I is equal to, I plus plus means I becomes 1, which is not less than 1. See, this 1 is not less than 1. So this condition doesn't hold, so we come out of the loop and see whether the flag contains a value 1 or contains a value 0. So let us see. If flag is equal to 1, if flag equals 1, then printf not a palindrome. Our flag value has not changed. Flag has remained the same. Flag is now holding a value of 0. So flag remains the same as it was in the beginning. So this else portion gets executed. It prints a palindrome. See, it prints a palindrome, and let's see that whether it is a palindrome. Yes, ABA is definitely a palindrome as it looks similar from both the sides. If you print the string from either side, you will get the same string as an output. So definitely it is a palindrome, and our program also returns that statement. So this program is quite correct and is ready to be used on the computer, ready to be run on the computer system rather. And if you have any doubts or queries relating to this program, you can well post your doubts or queries in the comment section so that I can address those queries or doubts. Thanks.